Hello, we're continuing the video. Today we're going to take a look at the Master League again. We're going to have a triple flying team here from this player. The battle is starting now as well. We're going to see a Landorus here, and we're going to see the opponent with a Zacian. Actually, I always thought, by the way, back in the day that this thingy on the top right there, what you see is some spoofing thingy, but as far as I know, it's just like some game optimization thing that's sometimes on smartphones. Always got confused by that, but yeah, we will see here Stone Edge coming through against this Lugia, which is very nice. We see a Hundo Lugia on their side. We see nearly a Hundo Evalta, not quite yet. And we see a Hundo best-buddied Landorus here, which is actually pretty cool. I kind of want to build a Landorus as well. I have the XL candy. Sadly, I never got a good one from a raid. So we will see here the Lugia going down from the Evalta. We see the move coming through from the Zacian, which is going to be the Wild Charge, which will not knock out the Evalta with 1 HP in a dream. Will survive, go for the Dark Pulse, but also doesn't knock out the opponent's Zacian. What's going on here? We see them going into their Lugia instead of their Landorus, so just an interesting play here. Are you going to go straight Aeroblast? No, you're going to go for the Sky Attack first. Sky Attack will be able to get most likely a shield here. They still have 2 shields left. I don't know if they want to get Aeroblasted here. No, they're going to shield this move up, and you can go ahead and shield up this move now. Ironhead gonna get shielded, and 2 superpowers will be enough to knock out the opponent's Dialga. Unless the opponent going to swap here now, which could be the case, and they try to swap perfectly, but they anticipated perfectly as well, and they're gonna go for 1 more superpower here, winning this game, and the battery is also very low. Next opponent, we will see here, we're actually close to legend ranking here as well. We see some gatekeeping here, I guess. We see a Dialga in the lead. Very good lead for you. What you kind of want to do is go for superpowers and then dip later on, I guess, because I think Dialga could win this in the 2 shields, but it's a little bit awkward. But what was not as awkward is the matchup against Mewtwo. This time around, though, this is a Focus Blast version of Mewtwo, something that you barely see nowadays. Usually they all play the move Shadow Ball, especially with all the Metagross available in the current meta here. Does make a lot of sense with Shadow Ball as well, but Focus Blast also would hit them hard. We see the opponent coming back into the Dialga, putting them now into a range for 1 superpower, which is amazing for your Landorus. And we see a Giratina coming in, which is a little bit tricky to deal with. But if you thought that Giratina is a bad matchup for the Lugia, you might thought wrong here, because, I mean, yeah, it's not ideal, don't get me wrong, it's not the perfect matchup, but it's also not the worst. As you can see here, you will be able to take a move pretty easily. You will be able to go for 1 Sky Attack here. You're gonna get the final shield by the opponent, and they have to still throw against you. What you're going to do here is let this move go through. I would do the same. You can still get even... you could have nearly got to this Sky Attack there, but you can now shield up your Landorus. Landorus will appreciate those shields, as it will be able to knock out the Giratina, or the opponent swaps into their Dialga. They try to overfarm to avoid exactly this scenario, but it's still fine, because you can just farm them all the way down. It doesn't matter if they throw here. You will be able to win basically every CMP tie in this meta. I think even against Mewtwo. I don't know if you actually win against Mewtwo or if it's just close, but against Mewtwo it's definitely also... they have basically nearly the same attack set there, so I don't know who wins there. But it has basically the same stats as Mewtwo in terms of attack, which makes it just so strong. We see the next opponent coming in here now as well, going to be Landorus against Zacian. This is going to be a toughie, as Zacian can be a little bit problematic for this team. You have 2 Pokemon in the back that don't really want to face Zacian too much. I guess Lugia is still a little bit neutral, so it's kind of nice that you face it here, but it's still kind of awkward. We will see the shield coming up most likely against the player of... No, you're going to let this move go through. You can still take it, but no, you're very low, which might be a problem later on, but we will see the Stone Edge coming through, getting a shield here. You will not be able to reach another superpower, which is kind of sad, but at least you're now aware that you most likely don't run the Wild Charge, so they're going to go for Play Rough, which is not as big of an issue as the other move there. We will see them staying in here and going straight for the Aeroblast, it seems like. Are you going to try to hope that there's no answer anymore for the Dark type there in the back? It's a little bit risky, but I guess I see the play here, because you already got basically rid of the opponent's Zacian, which will be the best answer for this Pokemon. You can overfarm a lot here, would at least go for 3 moves. Actually, you're going to overfarm to 100 energy, and you just farm them all the way down. Snarl down a Dialga. I didn't know that this was possible from this range, but we will be able to see these Dark Pulse coming through and get shielded from the opponent, as we see a Giratina swapping in against this Dark Pulse here, going to do actually less than I expected to do. It's interesting. Giratina's a bulky boy. You will be able to go ahead and shield up the next move. Try to go out to 100 energy again because you will be able to outspeed them. You have 100 energy now. 2 Dark Pulse will be enough to knock out the opponent's Giratina as well as the Zacian. But you're going to swap out here, which is interesting as you don't get to the move. And now it's a CMP tie and you lose the CMP tie and you lost the game. Oof, this is a tough one there. Definitely if you stayed in there, you would have been able to get there. But I guess you were scared that the opponent already had a move. Very close one there. Like, I guess it could have went either way. Like, no, you look like a little bit, it looks a little bit stupid because you swapped out and lost the game because of this. But at the end of the day, it could be either way. Like, if the opponent still had enough energy as you thought they most likely had, it would have been, of course, a really good swap there trying to catch the move. But like, now they were able to farm you down and won the game because of this. So, like, it's always hit or miss. Like, you never, like, either you look like the coolest you'd ever say so perfectly and get the move on it, or the opponent wins because you made a very silly mistake if they didn't have enough energy. But yeah, it's fine. Stuff like this happens. Like, this is totally normal. We see the opponent here having a Giratina. This should get knocked out by the Stone Edge exactly, and we see the Mewtwo coming back in and a Dialga coming back in. Sadly, you're not running the Focus Blast, but does the opponent know that? That's the question. You're going to farm up to the Focus Blast, and the opponent decides to shield, which is nice for you, as you can even go for another move here. And now it's a question, do you want to shield this move up against the Dialga? I would say yes. I think I would have shielded this up here if I was you, but I don't know if they shield. They do not shield. Never mind, it's also a smart decision to do this here because you will be able to farm down the Dialga now with your Landorus. Yeah, Landorus will have with the access now to Stone Edge, having nearly 100 energy here. Stone Edge nearly going to knock out the opponent's Mewtwo already. Actually does less than I thought, but one Stone Edge more will be enough to knock them out, and this was definitely a smart play here by this player. Trying to farm on the Dialga definitely helped you out, but I think we will have been also fine to shield the Yveltal, but it's fine. We will see the next opponent coming in here. Finding opponent, and next here going to be... We have to wait here a little bit, doing the nice pose. Actually, do they have Q times at this rating? I guess it's Master League, right? Master League is a little bit Q time heavy. Next opponent, we're going to see Landorus against Giratina. Very okayishly. You don't, like, you really want the Giratina on your Yveltal, of course. You don't really want to have it on your Lugia. So I think that's like this kind of awkward lead that you can play out, but you don't really want to be in this position here. As you're going to go for a Shadow Ball, you're going to be able to get to the next Stone Edge before them, getting to another Shadow Ball, but it's kind of the awkward situation here, to be fair. You will be able to get the shield from the opponent. You're going to go into your Lugia, which can take one move. You can let this move go through, but again, it does hurt a ton. It's actually funny that the Super Effective Shadow Ball on the Lugia does less damage than the neutral damage Shadow Ball on the not the Yveltal, on the Landorus there, which is kind of hilarious, but yeah, it's fine. We see the Sky Tags coming through against the opponent's Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh is low already, but still a little bit tricky. They're going to go for the Brave Bird, which might help you to farm them down with your Yveltal, I would say. No, you're going to go into your Landorus, trying to just sack the thing. No, you're going to shield this move, okay. Things that I didn't expect, but we see the Giratina coming back in, and now you're in a good spot. You have the move stored already on the Landorus there, which is amazing, and you will be able to farm them all the way down. Here, like, if the opponent didn't swap there, I think it would have been a little bit of a trickier one, but because they swapped, this is amazing for you. You see the Ho coming in, you can go for one fast move, go for the charge move, going to go for the KO as we see the Dialga coming in. They're going to have to shield something here, right? We're going to get to one more charge move here with the Dark Pulse. They're going to shield this one already, which is rare. And at this point, you won. Like, the opponent going to lose the MP against your Landorus. Landorus will be able to now go for one superpower, and this will be a good game here. This will easily knock out the Dialga, and you can win this game. Very nice. Very nice played there. Very, very well played there, but it's also a little bit awkward there from the opponent to swap out in this scenario there, I think, but... just happens, I guess. Interesting to see Q times at this rating though. It's really kind of shows how the interest of Go Battle League right now is at the minimum. I think it's actually lower than compared to like the interlude season, where at least we had Great League available and we had good cups available and a little bit more of an interesting meta available. Here we just, like, there's not a lot of reasons to play still right now, but it's still fine. It's okay. A new season's coming soon, hopefully. But we see a Metagross against you here. Metagross will not appreciate those superpowers. Still not the best matchup for you, and you're actually gonna go into your Lugia catching a move here. Lugia is definitely not the best matchup for yourself, but you're going to be able to tank those moves way better than with the Landorus, and you can still get to your own charge move before they get to their next charge move, knocking them out. And you're going to get the Garchomp against you. Why? They must be so weak against Lugia. What could they have in the back then? Because Garchomp is always something that you don't really want to have against Lugia. Garchomp going to not be able to do any damage with their fast moves. You're going to get super effective hit by the other moves, but you're going to have another dragon in the back. That's most likely why. Going to go into your Yveltal now. You will be able to reach the Dark Pulse pretty soon, and you should be able to actually just win this matchup pretty easily, I would say. Can go for the Dark Pulse. Does it knock them out? I actually don't know yet. Let's see. They're going to shield up anyway. You will be able to shield this move up as well. Exactly. And you can go ahead and go for another Dark Pulse. They could farm you down though. But again, the opponent's Garchomp, like what are they supposed to do again? I don't know really. Because they have the fast move of a Mud Shot. Don't really seem to have any play against you here. Earth Power coming through. There's no way that they could even do anything against Lugia at this point. Like one fast move of the Lugia would have been enough as well already. This is kind of overkill to go for the superpower. But flexing with the 100% level 51 Landorus is of course something that you can always do. As we see here, actually, so many, yes, it's kind of crazy. I really wish that, like, at this point, I don't know if when you see it, the news for the new season is already out. For me right now, it's not. I hope that the next season gonna be good, but you most likely either saw it already or going to see it on my channel anyway. And this is a perfect time to ask for a like on the video. And if you are not subscribed yet, you could subscribe, of course. It's RS3. But we will see here Lugia, Giratina against you here. This is not really ideal. You will be able to go for one Stone Edge. Again, two Stone Edges would be able to knock them out. They're going to shield both, which is a weird. This is something that I haven't seen from a Giratina yet. They're pretty bulky, so they don't really have to do this, but they're gonna go for one charge move there, and we see an Excadrill coming in. I'm pretty sure you still survive one Rock Slide here, right? I mean, Excadrill does a ton of damage, but I think it's still so, like, Lugia is so insanely bulky, it's crazy. We see the Aeroblast coming through, gonna do basically as much as your own health is right now, which is crazy. Like, this thing does just so much damage. We see you going into your Landorus. You can take this move better than with your Yveltal in the back. You're going to go into your Yveltal now, trying to get some energy lead. As we see a Landorus coming in from the opponent. You're going to go for two Dark Pulses because Hurricane doesn't really help you here yet. I guess Hurricane only, like, the reason why people run Hurricane nowadays is just because of the Zacian scenario. If you have a Zacian that's like around 70% health or whatever, you would be able to knock them out, even though you're a Dark type. But otherwise, it doesn't really help you too much. We see the Giratina coming back in here. You will be able to. I was just super scared that this small lag that you most likely also saw was because of the game breaking. But we see the Dark Pulse coming through, which will knock out the opponent. And one more Dark Pulse will be enough to knock out the opponent here again. So that's going to be a good game. Next one here, what are we going to see? We're going to see the next game coming up. Next game coming up here right now, we're going to see the Landorus against MEweedle, a very decent lead for you here. As we see the superpowers mostly coming through soon. They're gonna go straight for the Rock Slide, which is a weird play. Are they going to swap out now? They're not going. I don't know what the opponent. I know they're going to swap out. I'm going to swap into a Mewtwo, which is not the ideal move to throw the charge move yet, but it's okay, I guess. I think you can just farm down now. You will be able to see what moves they have. Either they go for Shadow Ball or they go for Ice Beam. This is awkward because now you have to throw here and there's not a lot that you can do otherwise. This move will knock out the opponent, which is nice, and we will see the MEweedle coming in here as well. MEweedle will knock you out as you can go back into your Landorus. You have to go into your Landorus. You have to keep your Landorus alive as well. There's not a lot else that you can do. You will be able to shield up this move, I think, because you need to keep it alive. And we will see here that the superpowers are coming through. This would knock out the opponent, and also it will be swapped onto a Giratina. This is super sad. But we will see now that the Giratina is coming in here and will go for some Shadow Force damage. It's insane that someone actually runs Shadow Force version of this Pokemon. That's kind of crazy. As we see the Sky attacks coming through here, going to get them very low. And I guess they're going to keep their shields alive for their MEweedle, which is, I guess, smart. Still going to come down to the wire, I think. Like, I don't know if it's over yet. They're going to go for a charge move here. Fine for you. Actually, good for you. You will be able to still go for a ton of moves, though. You have to outspeed them, which I don't think you do, though. And this will be a shield there from the opponent. Are you actually going to be able to win this game now? It's crazy. I don't know why. I think the opponent already had 2 moves, but like I don't know why they didn't throw, because now you can shield and you're going to be able to go for another superpower afterwards, and this will knock out the opponent, and that's going to be a very good game. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you haven't done that yet, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye.